Hey guys, this is Lisa Simone Richards of lisasimonerichards.com, and I am a PR and visibility strategist for health, fitness, and wellness entrepreneurs who want to go from unknown and underpaid to standing out and selling out. And I'm super psyched to be bringing on my buddy AJ today. Hey AJ, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Lisa. So awesome to connect again, and thanks for having me on your show.
Oh my gosh, super pumped. So AJ and I first connected a few months ago when I did my summit, the audience attraction formula, and AJ is known as the online super coach. So we had such an awesome conversation the first time that I thought I would connect with him today because I'm getting some questions from you guys that I think AJ is the perfect person to answer. So a number of you have asked me how you can start to go online. Like if you have a bricks and mortar business, how do you even begin going online? So AJ is the online super coach and he's going to walk us through that today. So AJ, tell us a little bit more about yourself and why you are the online super coach.
Yes, absolutely. I have a coaching business called Online Super Coach. I help personal trainers, coaches to really grow their online business. A lot of people start off doing coaching in person, or maybe they even have a 9-to-5 job or they're doing real estate. They want to develop an online business. So I found coaching is one of the fastest ways to help really exhibit that value. A lot of people want to get into having a business that they're working with people remotely. They're getting out of trading hours for dollars. So I just help develop the three main systems. Number one, a marketing system that brings in leads, a sales process you can sell your coaching, and then third, a virtual infrastructure. So you can develop this amazing coaching, this practice, this service, and then put it through a virtual platform that just helps many people, leverages it.
And how long have you been online for now? How many years?
Since 2010, fully. About 7 years now.
Can I call you an OG? Like that is a long time. One of the first guys on there.
Yeah. I'm really grateful. I learned a lot in the process, and I'm so happy to teach, because like I used to be this personal trainer who was kind of stuck in the gym all day long, and I just had these big dreams of helping more and more people online. So once I understood the formula from going from in person to building an online business, then I just had this like passion to help others, So I just love creating simple ways of teaching my philosophies to people.
And I think that's the reason you and I get along so well, is we both have that similar passion for helping people, move forward with their businesses and do what they're passionate about. So super pumped for this today. So AJ, this chat was inspired because I sent an email to my people saying, what do you want to know? And someone had written back with, they want to know how to go online. And then I had this conversation with one of my really good girlfriends from university the other day. She's had a yoga studio for 7 years now, and she's thinking about going online as well. But, here's the first thing that's coming up for her. So, I'm fortunate that I get to pick your brain on this one, is after spending so much time building a bricks and mortar business, connecting with a local community, it just feels really overwhelming to go online. Like, where do you even, what's the first thing you even do in that situation when you've been physical for 7 years?
Yes, that's a great question. So the first step is really understanding your specific target market. The big thing about in-person transition to online is the fact that we have an in-person business. People are really going to you based on location, geography. You're local, right? Maybe get some word of mouth. People will come from far distances. But let's just say in a personal training type of business, you're a local personal trainer. So there's personal trainer A, personal trainer B. You're kind of being based on your price, location, so on and so forth, right? When you go online, it's a whole different world because there's thousands of people just like you going for the same exact clientele. So the main thing and the main differentiator of going online is really selling your personality, okay? And I say this over and over again at my seminars in front of my students. People don't buy coaching, they buy coaches. They're buying you, your personality. And you're a great example of that, Lisa. There are a lot of people that do what you do, right? But you have a specific personality, specific results, teaching, and people are attracted to you. And the more you hone that gift, the larger your following gets. And if you look at people that you follow online, there's so many different options that you have, but why do you invest in one person? Why do you buy their programs, go to their seminars? It's more their personality rather than the actual thing they do.
And I love that you shared that because something I'd learned from you when we first talked and that I'd heard from a few other coaches that echo what you just said is that people are buying access to you. I mean, most of the things that a lot of us teach out there are easily found on Google, but people don't want to spend the time doing it. They want a proven system to be able to do it, and they want to have access to you. So that's great that you shared it. And another thing to expand upon from that one is I think a fear that I see coming up a number of times and that I've had my community share with me is that people will want to do something online, but they'll look and see, oh, well, so-and-so already has a business doing that, so I guess I can't do it anymore. But when you think about people are buying you, your personality, and access to you, that means that there's so much infinite room for everyone on there because no one's just like you. Like, I do PR and visibility. Maybe I'm too, peppy for somebody and they want somebody who's, toning it down a notch. Maybe you're too something for someone else and they're going to work with another coach who offers a similar service. But it all really comes down to who you are as a person and helping people connect with you.
Exactly. And I'm a case study of that in itself. I was doing online coaching since 2010. And then I had all this demand of all these personal trainers and coaches saying, hey, can you teach me what you do? And at the time, there was a lot of different gurus, marketing gurus that were teaching what I was doing. And I was like, at first I was like, it's a pretty crowded space. How am I going to compete with all these people that have like 10, 15 years in the game, just basically teaching this stuff? And I said, you know what? I'm going to bring something different to the table and I'm going to teach with my personality, my system. And a lot of these people, I was seeing flaws in what they were teaching. So I was like, I'm going to teach in a way that gets results, but is also very simple to understand. And that's the biggest thing. Like when you look at your competitors or even your heroes, look at what they're not doing. Look at what you like about them and what they're not doing. And then you look at what the marketplace needs. So then I saw like what the marketplace needed. And I essentially just put myself out there with this one webinar. I did this one webinar just teaching my system, telling my story of how I went from a personal trainer to an online coach. And in less than 12 months, that one webinar took me from 0 to 7 figures. I had my first $100,000 month, literally 12 months after that webinar. So that showed me, first and foremost, even though I was in a crowded market, my story is individual. What I teach is very specific. And as long as I get results for people, I'm going to climb to the top of the ranks. So it really comes down to that. It's really just seeing that, okay, what is your target market? What is your superpower, the thing you really want to help people with? And how can you teach it in a unique way that no one else is teaching?
Okay, I have to interject and ask, what was that webinar about?
Yeah, super simple. It is kind of funny because that one webinar, I still use it to this day. Like it's me story of my experience being a personal trainer and just, failing financially, learning this online business, failing on my face, all the mistakes I made, all the wins I had. And then once I discovered the right formula, I implemented it and then I shared the formula. I was showing my systems, showing everything I have with my business, all my numbers and everything. I was super transparent on there. And for some reason, that webinar just converted like crazy. It just took off. And till this day, it's bought me multiple millions of dollars off one 60-minute video. It's a centerpiece of my business. So 2 great lessons there. Number one, you're literally one webinar away from $1 million business. And number 2, it's not so much the content, but the context. It's your story, the emotion, right? People buy with emotion. So many people teach things that are so logical, but when you could emotionally inspire someone into action, they'll follow you wherever you want to take them.
Totally true. And it seems like everything that you're saying right now is based around personality. It all comes down to you. So would you say that one of the first things you need to do when you decide to go online is figure out who is my, authentic personality, my brand personality? How do I develop that so people are attracted to me? Would that be one of the first things to figure out?
Yes, absolutely. It's your identity, right? So I'll give you another example because I just like to share what I went through because I love to teach by example. When I was transitioning from an in-person trainer to an online coach, I was failing miserably. I was putting out offers on Facebook. Hey, I have a new online training program. If you want to know about it, send me a message. I would put out offers on my email list, falling flat, boom, nobody wanted it. I was getting frustrated. I was like, wait a minute, like I'm this online coach, but no one wants to buy. They just want to buy my in-person stuff. So I was struggling mentally because I was like, maybe this online thing is not for me. But then I realized something very, very important. I used to be very, very overweight. In fact, I was 60 pounds overweight. I had chipmunk cheeks, man boobs, big old belly, and I just hated the way I looked. Most of my life, I was very heavy. That's why I got into fitness. You may not realize it now, but I was very, very insecure with my body. And it wasn't until my early 20s when I decided to make a change. I decided to, you know what? I'm going to put all of my energy getting into shape. And I remember like going on the internet and reading all these diets and workout plans. And I was doing it for a few weeks and then falling flat on my face, trying this workout and then quitting it, and then doing this diet, and then, you know, the next day filling my face up with ice cream, you know, screwing it up. And I was like, how do I keep failing? I can't lose this weight. And then I realized, you know what, like, in order for me to be this ideal, fit, healthy version of myself, I have to believe that it's possible. So what I said to myself is, who do I need to be in order to have a six-pack and less than 10% body fat? That was my goal at the time. So then I started to really just take on that personality of a person who eats healthy, who enjoys working out, who loves doing cardio. When I changed my identity, then the fitness happened a lot quicker. And then I realized, like, wow, you know, the mindset is so important because, you know, fitness is $1 billion industry. 80% of people are obese all around the world. It's getting worse and worse. But the people that could change their identity and take on the mindset of a healthy person, they just make it happen, right? So I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth. I don't think about it. I'm a person who brushes my teeth, you know? So like, it's like if you could create this identity of the person that you are, you're going to get to the next level. So in building my online business, literally every single day I would say to myself, I'm the best online coach in the world. I'm $1 million online coach. I get people the best results. People love my videos. They love my work. I'm the best online coach in the world. I would say it out loud over and over and over again. And until I started believing it. And then I would go on video. I would show up differently. I would be on a sales call. I would just flow so easily. Everything I did just started to fall into place. Then people started buying my stuff, paying for my services, really listening to my videos, subscribing to my channels. And I'm like, whoa, like what happened here? You know, I had to change my identity. So the same thing. It's like whenever I have a big goal in my life, you know, right now I'm trying to take my business from 7 figures to 8 figures. I know that I don't have an 8-figure mindset just yet. So who do I have to be to earn $10 million of revenue? I have to think differently. I have to act differently. I have to speak differently. And once I align all those things, everything will fall into place.
What you just said there is everything. Mindset and identity. Like the way you just perceive yourself is everything. So I'll have a moment of transparency and vulnerability here. I hate dealing with my numbers when it comes to business. I hate logging into my bank account and like just knowing everything that's coming in and going out and whatnot. And I've always told myself this story that I'm just bad with numbers. And what I've been doing lately is like, you know what? You can't keep living that story. I have been telling myself the story. I'm amazing with numbers. I log in every single day so I can see, okay, this is what's going on with everything right now. You know, I read the books. I'm like, what would someone who's creating an amazing business be reading? What would they be doing? And I've been exhibiting that. So it's really cool that you just shared that, because now I'm just like, no, we need to change the story and become that identity, that person that you want to be. Talk to yourself in that language, take the actions that that kind of person would take so that you can really start to see those kinds of results.
Absolutely. I love that. Change the story. You know, I have a master's in psychology, and I've studied this stuff extensively. And if you really look at our lives are a series of stories that we tell ourselves. A story of relationships, a story of our career, a story of our happiness. Everything is a story that we create. And if we could create these really empowering stories and we subscribe to them, our life changes in a very, very quick and dramatic way.
Yeah, that's totally on point. And another question that I had for you, AJ, was I would love for you to inspire people who are watching this right now. So let's say, you know, some of the audience who has physical bricks and mortar businesses, they're thinking about going online and they're kind of like, what could I even sell? Like, what if they don't necessarily want to do personal training online if they come from a personal training background? How can they parlay their current experience into an online business? Yeah,
great question. And I get this a lot, you know, because I get people who, let's say, come to my seminars. And, you know, what is really interesting is like at my last seminar, I had a majority of people who had zero business experience. They were real estate agents, or they worked in a corporate job, or they were unemployed. And they're like, I want to build a business, but I don't know where to start. And I say, very simple. There is a piece of advice that a lot of people ask you for. What is that piece of advice, right? So if you think about, let's say, one of my students' name is Melissa, And she was a nanny. She wanted to build an online business, and she had no idea where to start or what to do. And I asked her that question. I was like, when your friends or your family members come to you advice, what do they typically ask you? And she's like, well, relationships. People ask me about relationships. I have a good relationship, and people are like, how do I find the man of my dreams? How do I have a good relationship? How do I not have fights and all this stuff? And I'm like, you know what? You should create a relationship coaching business, because you are the go-to woman for relationships in your inner circle. And that was the challenge. And I said it's super duper simple. I gave her this template for video series that I give my students. And I said, just put out this video series on your social media, Facebook and Instagram, and basically have a call to action that you're taking on 5 people for a relationship transformation challenge. And it was a super simple offer. She kind of gave her story of how she got an amazing relationship, some strategies that she used, but also put it out to people. Hey, I'm taking on people to coach them for the next 8 weeks. So I think it was $1,000 she was selling it for, but it was kind of like a beta program. She goes, 5 people at $1,000 for the next 2 months. I'm going to give you the most amazing relationship. Or if you're single, I help you find the person of your dreams. And this is going to be a beta test, because I'm normally going to sell this program for $5,000. For at $1,000, you get to join in. And because I'm giving you a discount, you're going to give me a testimonial to share your experience. So very simple offer. She made an offer. I think 5 people paid her $1,000 for the 8 weeks. She just loved the whole experience, something that she does very, very effortlessly. And she learned about her skill set, taking these strangers, coming up with a curriculum. And she built this 8-week course with these 5 people. These 5 people took the course, got amazing results, gave her a testimonial, because that was a part of the deal. And from there, it was a birth of her business. Results for these people, a whole curriculum for these 5 beta testers, $1,000 price point. And now she's basically raising the price, getting more people, and refining the system. Maybe those first 8 weeks, they're not the perfect program, but she talks to those people, right? Each week is like, what'd you like about week number 1? Oh, you know what? I like this, but I didn't like that. Okay, I'm going to change it for the next level. And then each time people go through this 8-week course, it gets better and better and better. So it starts there, and then over the next years, it becomes $1 million business.
And what's so cool about what you just shared, and this is something I'd love to ask you about as well. So you said she was a nanny, and then she developed a course on relationships. So how frequently do you see people go, I would have thought you might have said, she developed a story or a business around how to be the best nanny, how to find the best nanny job, something related to her existing industry. So how often do you see people do something that is related to their pre-existing business versus doing something completely out of left field?
Many times it is out of left field, just because so many people get into a career or profession because of outside influences, whether it's society, the parents, friends, what other people are doing. It's like people want to be attorneys, right? That's like one of the top paying attorneys in the US. Attorneys get paid the highest. However, attorneys have the lowest job satisfaction. There's more depressed attorneys than any other profession. But society says you have to be an attorney, you'll be respected and make a lot of money, but at the same time, you're going to give away your happiness. So why do that? So my whole business is called Online Super Coach, and I have a belief that we have a superpower, this amazing skill and ability that only we have. And once we harness this skill, we help a lot of people, we get energized doing it, and it puts us in a flow state. So I'm in the business of creating content. I do seminars. I put out videos every single day. I have a podcast, just like you. I'm going live. I'm just putting out tons of content. So I need to have something that I'm very passionate about. Right now, you and I'm in a flow state. I could do this for 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. Don't pay me. Just give me the audience and I'll talk to them. So you got to find out something that fires you up like that, because that will give you longevity. That will give you mastery. Let's say, for example, if she decided to do a business for nannies, help nannies, she doesn't have a lot of passion there. Maybe she'll do it for 1 or 2 months and give up on it because it's not where her heart is. She loves relationships. She reads these books on relationships. She watches documentaries about them. She's fascinated with it. And now she has an audience of people she can help teach her learnings with.
Okay, so I'm going to close it off by asking you one question, because this kind of seems to be you're known for. So for those people who are thinking about going online, what would you say is one tip to helping them find their superpower so they can bring it out in themselves and take their business online?
Great question. This is something I actually do with all my students. And this is a secret strategy, but since you're cool, I'm going to share with your audience. And it's something you can do as well. I do this every year, and I'm fascinated with what comes back. Super simple exercise. You look at the 20 closest people in your life, friends, family members, social media associates, and you send a simple email. Hey, Lisa, I would really appreciate your help. I want to know, what do you think is my superpower? That's it. Simple email, okay? You send that out. Of course, not all 20 people can respond quickly, but you'll start getting answers. And very quickly, you'll get your insights based on someone else's perspective. You're this, you're that, you're this, you're that. And all of a sudden, you'll see a pattern. You'll see out of those 20 people, maybe 8 people say the same exact thing. And most likely, that's your superpower. So a superpower is something that many times we're blind to. We do it so often, it comes naturally to us. We take it for granted, but someone else, they see the value in it. That's why they will invest in us to get that superpower. They want to hang out with us. They want to just really be in our presence. And we emanate that, you know? So in every career, no matter what you do, you have a specific superpower that allows you to rise to the top. So once you get that feedback, then you become more of that person, right? So I recently did this on my Facebook, actually, and a lot of people said inspiration and consistency. So I'm like, inspiration and consistency. Okay, so I'm going to be more inspirational, put on more inspirational content. I'm going to talk about more consistency because I really feel consistency will take you to the next level. So everyone around you is giving you the answers. If you ask for help, if you ask for insight, they will give it to you. And once you have that insight, start implementing it.
What a cool exercise. And I actually just want to do that for myself, just to get a sense of, you know, how am I perceived? Is there something under there that I haven't seen yet that other people see in me? So I think that is like the ultimate high note to end that on. And for everyone who's watching this on the replay, do that exercise. Ask 20 people what they see your superpower being, and leave us a comment below letting us know what your superpower is. So AJ, why don't we wrap it up with letting everyone know where can they find you online so they can connect with the online super coach himself?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually have a book that goes into my 5 systems on really growing your online business. Everything I discuss here, but it goes into detail in terms of like every step you need to take to just go from 0 to building your first launch. And it's a super simple website to get the book. If you go to onlinesupercoach.com/free book, you can download it on there. And basically, it's like I said, it's more of like a detailed version of everything we discuss here. And on my website, Online Super Coach, essentially I have all my information. If you want to get into my podcast, come to one of my seminars here in New York, or just connect, you know, that's the place to go.
So that URL one more time, because I want to pop it in the comments, is onlinesupercoach.com/free
book.
Free book. Okay, so now everyone can link to that from the comments. And when's your next event coming up? Because I know I personally want to be able to come and check that out. Do you have dates yet?
Yes, I have 2 events. I'm actually doing a seminar in Las Vegas in September 1st and 2nd, and then I have my Online Supercoach seminar in October in New York City.
Okay, awesome. So when they come to your website at onlinesupercoach.com, I'm sure they can find some information there after they download your free book.
Yes, that'd be awesome. There's a tab that says live events and all the calendars on there.
Phenomenal. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for coming on, AJ. Hopefully, guys, you have some more tips now on how you can go online if that's something you're looking to do. And we will see you live here next week, Thursday. Thanks again, AJ, and especially for coming right after your webinar.
I love this stuff. Thank you for having me. This is a lot of fun.
Have a good day, guys. See you later.